Hey, welcome to Daddy Daughter Movie Night. I'm Tom. Today we're going to keep it short and sweet and review the 1970 Disney animated classic, The Aristocats, with the voices of Ava Gabor and Phil Harris and a host of others. We won't do a long plot summary this time. Most of you have probably seen this movie, even if you haven't seen it since you were a kid. Ava Gabor voices Duchess, a cat with several kittens who are kidnapped and brought out to the country by a greedy butler who stands to inherit a lot of money if they're out of the picture. And it's basically a road movie of their journey on the way back to the mansion where she lives. And on the way, meeting some alley cats and some musicians and some fun along the way and learning how the other half lives. It is a product of its time, though. There are some racial stereotypes, especially in those musicians, but they are all counterculture figures respected within their group. Not too much to worry about, but you may find yourself having the conversation with your kids why certain nationalities are acting a certain way in an exaggerated way. But not too bad here, especially given some of the problems other animated films have had. But you can use it as a teachable moment. I first watched this with my daughter when she was 2. We did have to fast forward a lot in the middle when there were 2 dogs out in the farm who attack Edgar as he's dumping the kittens. That goes on for quite a while, and they're comical characters for older kids, but for that young of a child, it was too intense, and we had to move on. Then there were some antics at the end where Edgar is trying to ship the kittens off to Timbuktu. Scat Cat and his gang of musicians come to help the kittens and Mom and Thomas O'Malley to defeat him and ultimately ship him off. But it is pretty intense there for a moment, especially when the cats are menacing a friendly mouse character who's come to summon them. It's actually kind of scary, especially for a 2-year-old. We tried again recently when my daughter is now well into her 3rd year and did a lot better with the middle stuff with the 2 dogs. Still had to turn it off at the end when it got a little too frantic for her, and she just turned to me and started crying, actually, and said, "Daddy, I don't like this," after investing a fair amount of time in the film, so we just called it quits. I'm thinking maybe when she's 4, if she tries it again, she won't have these problems. So I'm going to give this film a fast-forward score of 4 out of 10. For fast-forwarding, there's probably 10 minutes in the middle and 10 minutes at the end that are potentials for riding that fast forward button as a parent. So just be warned about that. This is an odd movie. It was made right after Walt Disney's death, and I think it was the last movie he directly greenlit. I might be wrong about that, but it's certainly close to that. And you can sort of feel the movie trying new things. It's got a soft villain, as they say. It's not a big high concept movie. The villain is Edgar, a butler who's friendly up until he finds out that he's second in line to inherit millions, and then decides to get rid of the kittens, but he doesn't even try to do away with them. He just drives them out to the countryside and dumps them off on a farm. And the movie is basically a road movie of their journey back. The movie's populated by characters who are counterculture. 1970, you had a lot of stuff going on in the culture. A lot of it seems confused here, frankly. There are a lot of psychedelic colors, especially in the musical numbers in the middle. But the music is jazz. Psychedelia is more often associated with rock and roll. But fortunately, we get some great jazz here. And that brings us to this review's Daddy's Reason to Watch, Scatman Crothers, who you might know, dads of a certain age certainly know as being Scatman Crothers, the famous singer from the 40s and 50s, famous for his scat. Then going on to a pretty successful acting career. He was on TV in Chico and the Man. He was a janitor, I believe, in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which is a great scene with him for older audiences. And he also was in The Shining, very memorably. Even if your little one bails on this movie, you're going to want to check it out just for him. If your little one leaves the room and Mom wants to take over for a few minutes, keep watching the movie because it's a lot of fun just to see Scatman do his thing in the middle. Especially the musical number is a somewhat overlooked classic Disney animated musical number that in this age of Disney princesses is not often remembered, but it's really great, and you should check it out. Let me know below what your favorite Scatman Crothers role is. I'd be interested to know what your age is and where you remember him from most. So that's it. Add it to your watch list for your next Daddy-Daughter movie night. And see if your daughter will stick it out for those 2 trouble points. But if not, even if your little one bails on the movie, I guarantee you'll enjoy at least the musical number, which you probably have in your head somewhere already. Everybody Wants to Be a Cat. It is well worth checking out again as an adult. And at least it was for me. The movie's available right now on Amazon streaming and on YouTube Movies, which I'm finding more and more convenient to use. I couldn't find it on Netflix, and in fact, they keep changing my password every 18 minutes or so, so I couldn't check them out today. I just didn't have the patience. I hope that you have the patience to subscribe below and get notified of future reviews. We're going to try and keep them short and sweet as we go along and get them up more often. And please give us a like, too, if you have the time. We'd really appreciate that. Till next time, I'm Tom. This is Daddy-Daughter Movie Night, and we'll see you soon.